How is it going, folks? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Worth the Space, also known as Jack, and you join us for episode number 1 of our Chelsea Let's Play in the FM24 beta. The aim for this save game? Simple. Take Chelsea back to the top, win a Premier League title, and, well, before we do that, try and get them back in European football. That would be a good start. And for this Let's Play, we are, of course, using the My World game mode, which means we are starting in June, and I will be taking over Chelsea before the summer transfer window ever happened. The board expectations for this first season are simple. Qualify for the Champions League, reach the latter stages of the FA Cup, become best of the rest. I don't want to be best of the rest. I want to be best of everyone by 2025. That might be ambitious. And eventually here, Todd does want to see us winning a Premier League. I hope that we can do it sooner than 2028, in all honesty. Just a little reminder as well, I have partnered up with Fanatical to provide you guys an amazing discount on FM24. If you want to get immediate access to the beta through a Sega-approved retailer for 22% cheaper than the Steam price, check out the link at the top of the description. When I first conceived the idea of this save game, I thought it was going to be a great idea. The first I'm looking at this first team. Why are there so many players here? Now, of course, you can see in the top right, the date is the 12th of June. And as a result of that, players like Kante are still at the club. Players like Mason Mount, Lukaku, we can have a whole alternative timeline where we build around this bloke, if we want. I think my first and main call of action really is going to be to purge down this first team squad. In fact, how many players are there? 39 in the first team. That doesn't include all the players in the under-21s as well, of which there's equally quite a lot. I'm not being funny. To Chelsea realise how many players they have, I have to scroll on the hierarchy screen. I've never seen that before. And of course, having missed out on European football, morale isn't exactly high here. We have no Champions League football. There is no way I'm going to be able to give everyone the first team football they want. I'm going to have to get busy, aren't I, with a clear out. What transfer budget do we have? We have £175 million in the bank. I'm going to go and spend a load of money. We're going to run the intro, and I'm going to join you for that first game of the season. So the date in the top right is the 14th of August, and we are here with Tottenham awaiting us, away from home for our first game of the season. Since you were here, a whole lot of money has been spent. I'm going to hope that Todd sorts this out. Minus £167 million in the bank. That's a scary number. And of course, if you didn't check it out earlier on the channel, if you want to see the summer transfer window I'm about to cover in depth, we did a prologue episode to this series, a 42-minute transfer delve. So if you want to understand the rationale behind Dean Henderson being the starting goalkeeper for this season, that's a hint to the transfers, maybe go watch that video. And before we get into things today, let's set a target. If this video gets to 5,000 likes, episode number 2 coming your way later on today. So like I already mentioned, this save game is in My World, a new game mode in Football Manager where we started in June and we redid the entire transfer window, which means that in my Chelsea team, Mason Mount is still here, Cesar Azpilicueta is still here, for now. And heck, even King Kai himself remains in Chelsea blue. That said, I have spent £400 million. Now, if you did watch episode number 0, you've already seen some of these transfers. Let's cover the outs first and foremost before I explain some of these ins. Yeah, that is Olivier Giroud. So we'll come on to that. So one of the biggest sales we made in the summer was Christian Pulisic. He left us to go to Tottenham for £54 million. We played them in the first game of the season. I still can't believe we got £54 million for him. Hakim Ziyech also left us to go to Tottenham, so of course both these players will score against us today. The 30-year-old Moroccan departed for £32 million. Edouard Mendy and Kepa Arrizabalaga left for a combined £78 million. Edouard Mendy went to PSG. Kepa, he's living it up at Al Ahly. He's securing the bag in Saudi Arabia, as are a few of our players. One such player was N'Golo Kante. One of the limitations with your world is that players with contracts expiring at the end of the 2023 season have their contracts renewed. As a result of that, we were able to sell him. As a reminder, we got £80 million, which that's stupid, isn't it? That £80 million is going to be given to a club at the end of today's episode. I won't reveal who it is just yet. The other big headline sale was Lukaku. Yes, I haven't had to loan him out in our universe. Instead, I was able to mug off PSG. He's left to join them for £46 million. I say mug them off. He has scored on his debut in Ligue 1. And elsewhere here, you can see a whole host of other sales. Ampadu, Aubameyang, Bakayoko, Sarr, Sterling, Xavier Simons, and a load of youth players who, I'm not going to cover all of these. They don't deserve any attention. And as a reminder, Hudson-Odoi on loan at Leicester this year, I have just given a new contract for 5 years on £125,000. The more I look at some of the decisions I made yesterday, the more I question them. Anyway, those were the transfers out. In terms of transfers in, there is some transfers that I looked at what Chelsea did with Pochettino and I thought, they're good transfers, so I copied them. We did some of our own, though. Of course, Caicedo joined the club for £115 million. The Ecuadorian, a fantastic player both in real life and in Football Manager. He is the Kante replacement. He will be the rock in our midfield. We, of course, picked up Christopher Nkunku for a not-so-measly £85 million. It was £85 million. I was hoping it was going to be less if I clicked on this screen. No, it's still £85 million. He isn't injured. For now, I'm going to hope he's going to come good. To start this season, I think he will be our main playmaking centre-attacking mid-option. And from those transfers there, we descend into the ones that aren't so canon with our real-world universe. Ansu Fati, signed from Barcelona for £120 million. It's £90 million up front. If he plays 30 league games for us this year and we qualify in the top 4 for the Champions League, I owe them a lot more money. So, the plan is to use him for 29 games this year. Fati's good. He's not even £70 million good. I don't know what I was thinking. Elsewhere, we picked up playmaking maestro Arda Güler as a player for the future. 18-year-old looks absolutely immense. And another good option for the future, we needed goalkeepers. We went out and picked up Gavin Bazunu. He is going to be our backup goalkeeper, our starting goalkeeper, the one, the only, Dean Henderson, signed from Manchester United for £17 million. Have I lost the plot? Potentially. Since the end of the episode that went up yesterday, the bonus transfer special though, 3 further signings made. The first of those, Joe Gomez, for £35 million. With Koulibaly looking like he will be leaving the club in the coming weeks, I wanted to get in a new centre-back option. I talked about it last episode, but I do want to bring in more English players into the team. Joe Gomez fits the bill, and to be honest, at 26 years old, I feel like £35 million is an absolute bargain. This guy, very, very good versatile defender. Another good versatile defender we picked up is Max Aarons. I see him long-term as kind of the Azpilicueta replacement. When Azpilicueta eventually leaves the club, I feel like someone like Max Aarons is going to be able to come into the team, play right back, play left back. We've signed him for £20 million. It is a 5-year deal, but with an optional 3-year extension on top of that. And in terms of being the ultimate backup player, I think he'll fit that bill really nicely. He has gone back on loan to Norwich for the rest of this season, but next year, he will be around. And the final signing, perhaps the most memeable signing, Olivier Giroud. I mean, he's a good goalkeeper. You know, went in goal in real life and did that goalkeeping stuff. No, look, let's be real here. 36 years old. He's actually really, really good. I know this is going to be very divisive. He is very, very good. No one can convince me otherwise. Look at the mentals. Look at the physicals. Ignore his age. He starts up front for our first game of the season. And of course, if we do just look at aerial threats in the new set-piece creator, he is the best set-piece threat in the entire squad right now. I'm going to be making the most of the new set-piece system. He's going to score goals for fun. I hope. And speaking of tactics, this is how I think we're going to line up to start the season. A 4-2-3-1 system. I know it's a gegenpress. I know it's not the most adventurous thing, but we have got some somewhat adventurous roles. In Football Manager this year, you are going to see players rotate around the pitch a little bit more and kind of interact with different roles in an interesting way. So, with our team here, with Reece James playing as an inverted wing-back, he will step up and fill the gap behind Enzo Fernandez, who as a Segundo Volante, which, I mean, let's be honest, it's the most fun role to say, isn't it, aloud? Segundo Volante. It just sounds fun. Look, he's going to be getting up the pitch a fair bit. When we do have the ball, he's going to push forward. We will have 5 men in the attack, a base of Caicedo and James in the centre of the midfield. And, well, in the final third, I'm hoping that Fati, Sterling and Nkunku and Giroud are going to make magic happen. I feel like there's going to be some really nice build-up play here. And actually, when you look at the bench, Joe Gomez on the bench to start the year just because he's not played as much of pre-season, but players like Cucurella, Havertz, Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount is still here. Mudryk, didn't even talk about Mudryk. Yeah, I want to try and get goals out of this guy and do the impossible. He looks like he should be really good, although I will also say he does look like a bit of a pace merchant, doesn't he? Madueke is another really exciting young midfield option that I want to make the most of this year. Have got some concerns about his injury proneness and his inconsistency, but at 21 years old, we need to give him game time. And elsewhere, we do also have Broja, who is in the team. Yeah, I'm realising that when it comes to depth in the final third, that is a minor weakness of ours, which when I've spent, £400 million, it probably shouldn't be a weakness. Defensively, though, to be honest, I am starting Colwill and Thiago Silva at centre-back. This defensive pairing at the back, it could change at any moment. Wesley Fofana, if he was fit, would walk into our starting 11. He's still out for 10 months. But behind him, players like Joe Gomez, very, very good centre-back. We have Colwill, who I've already talked about, Chalobah as well. Badiashile here, when he's fit, he should probably be in the starting 11. I've probably got a problem at centre-back in the sense that I've got too many good centre-backs, but we'll figure out that problem when we get there. If you were interested in the hierarchy, by the way, because I appreciate it, I've sold a lot of first-team players. As in real life, Chelsea had a big spring cleaning. I've had my own cleaning, but I have kept different players around, mind you. We can see here, Giroud back into the team, instantly a team leader with a model professional personality. That is great to see. Elsewhere, though, we have, I feel like, a surprisingly balanced hierarchy. Maybe a few too many influential and highly influential players. But on the whole, I thought it would look like more of a mess than this. Maybe the mess does come with social groups, but again, I feel like I've seen worse. I mean, it'd be great if they all sat at the same dinner table together, but 4 tables we can make work. Is it just me who imagines the social groups, like different groups of kids sat at dinner tables in like a big school canteen? It might just be me. I feel like there is always a risk when you have a big turnover of players like we've had that things aren't going to click right away. And Tottenham away from home isn't exactly the easiest game to start the season. Todd's expectation this year is a top 4 finish. Going into the preseason, our preseason prediction was 6th. You can see we are technically predicted to finish ahead of Tottenham. That said, neither of us have any of the players in the media dream 11. For what that's worth. For now, though, we are going to leap headfirst into our first game of the season. We are taking on a Tottenham Hotspur team with a media prediction of 7th. As a reminder, their key player is Son. The reason their key player is Son is because they've sold Harry Kane to Al Hilal for £127 million. Yes, in this universe, he never went to Bayern Munich. That didn't happen. Instead, he went and secured the bag. A lot of bag. He's earned, how much is he earned? I was about to say 100,000. I was going to go 100 and blank. No, he's earning £1.9 million a week. To put that in perspective, my wage budget is £4.9 million. I could have 2.5 Harry Kanes and pay their wages. The finances of the Saudi clubs in this game is mental. So like I've already mentioned, Dean Henderson is going to be starting in goal for us today, although I do feel like he and Bazunu will be battling it out for that goalkeeper position. At left back and right back, it's the Chelsea team you know and love. We have got Reece James, who we are going to be playing as that inverted wing back. I want to see him tuck in to the midfield. I feel like this is a role that is actually really well suited to him. Meanwhile, Chilwell is going to be the more conventional wing back for us. At the back, Colwill, Thiago Silva to start the year. Do expect to see Joe Gomez and Badiashile in there at some point. The midfield, Fernandez, Caicedo, very, very exciting. And Kunku up top, Sterling, not really talked about him. Mentally good in Football Manager. I'm surprised at how good he is, although I'm glad he's good because he's on £350,000 a week. We're going to hope that Ansu Fati can overperform his attributes. He really needs to for the money I've spent. And of course, up top, we've got Olivier Giroud. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even been given a squad. What number am I giving him? I know there's going to be some kids who want me to do it. I want to give him the number 69. I can't give him the number. We're actually surprisingly low on numbers here, I've just realised. We still have far too many players across all our youth teams. Why have so many of them been given numbers? I'm going to give him the number 99. I have no justification for it. It's just a big number. I wish there was an option here when you play Football Manager for the first time to do a team talk where it's like, this is our first game of FM24. Play well. Let's do it for the fans. You can tell it's the first game I've played because I'm getting given the tunnel interviews. If you do the tunnel interviews, you're a weirdo. In future, Jesus Perez, my assistant, you're going to deal with these. Go. I don't want to talk to the press. Who do they think I am? Anyway, we've got the starting 11s here. Ziyech and Pulisic both start for Tottenham. This can only end well. As for our team, 4-2-3-1. Excited to see how the inverted wingback and Segundo Volante work. Keep a close eye on Reece James's movement when we do have the ball. This is, by the way, the Monday night football game. Everyone else has played. The world of football in England, that makes no sense as a sentence. They're watching us. Hopefully we're going to give them a treat. And of course, as is always the case with our Let's Plays, we are going to TV camera, lowest height, max zoom, up the speed once. Those are my settings. Someone will ask for my settings, that's what they are. And when it comes to all my custom graphics I use, because I know someone else will ask about that, they're all linked down in the description of this video. I feel like of all the games we could have had to start our time here, this isn't the easiest. Of course, we've had a big turnover in players, much like Chelsea did in real life. I feel like there is going to be a bit of a gelling period. Team cohesion is going to be something we have to keep an eye on. I feel like I'm not going to want to rotate the starting 11 much, and yet, without European football, in order to keep all the players happy and a still slightly large squad, probably I'm going to have to rotate things more than I'd like. Somewhat concerned. First ever match in an episode. We've not had a highlight. We're 40 minutes in. It's nearly half time. Still waiting for a highlight. Football Manager, have we got one? No, we've not. Would it be disproportionate to throw a water bottle in the first game of the series? Like, do they not understand? I've got a YouTube series here. This has got to be entertaining. What are we doing here? I've got Shouty. I am concerned that Thiago Silva's on a 6.5. I don't know why. He's unhappy. He wants to go to Arsenal. I don't trust him. Joe Gomez, on you come. Okay, throw in on the near side here. James to Giroud. Make yourself worth the money, Giroud. They've all mocked me. They're laughing in the comments. They probably already left comments down there telling me I'm an idiot. And maybe I am. But I believe that Olivier Giroud is the man to catapult our team to Champions League football. Ball played forward. Enzo Fernandez is there. Lays all the way back to Reece James, who's going to lose the ball. Right now, that inverted wing-back decision looking inspired. Is that Christian Pulisic? Is Christian Pulisic? Don't do it. Don't hurt me. Lo Celso has crunched the crossbar. Dean Henderson had it covered. In Dino we trust. In Dino we trust. I'm calm. Everything's fine. Okay, Tottenham with a set piece. I will just say, yeah, they did it at the crossbar. They've not yet had a shot on target. That could be about to change here because Hakim Ziyech is over the ball. I mean, this is Football Manager, isn't it? Football Manager does these things. Former players score against you. Don't hurt me, Football Manager. I'm fine. That was fine. Everything's okay. An hour played. We've not exactly created a great deal. Ansu Fati struggling. Right, Mudryk, on you come on the left-hand side. He is right-footed. We'll have him play as an inside forward, even though all he's really good for is running. I am concerned with Giroud. I'm going to keep my faith in him. I am, however, going to bring in Noni Madueke out on the right-hand side. He is left-footed, so you know what? In spite of the fact he is set to be a winger, we're not going to play him as a winger. Inside forward as well. In you go, son. I mean, I want to sit here and pretend that 0-0 would be a great result. It would be an absolute travesty. We need to make something happen. Let's see if we can make something happen here. Caicedo, Giroud, playing as that pressing forward, linking up the play. Mudryk, number 10, has bags of pace, but absolutely no dribbling IQ whatsoever. He loses the ball, but we've won it back. Enzo Fernandez pulls the trigger. And I'll tell you what, it's long shot central over here. We're having highlights, nothing's on target. Throw in on the far side, Chilwell, Giroud, back wide with Chilwell. He's going to loop it in. We've not really got that many tall players. Giroud is the big man to aim for. Ball at the edge of the box. Chilwell pulls the trigger and hits the crossbar. We're getting closer to hitting the target, I suppose. Now wide with Ben Davies. He lays it down the line to Son. Tottenham with possession. Just looking at the stats here, we have had not as much of the ball as I'd like. 49% of it, and it's Tottenham running riot with it now. Ziyech on the far side. Options queuing up in the middle. Can we stop the ball getting into the box? It loops all the way to Son, who you can't leave unmarked like that. He scores and makes it 1-0. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. Where is Reece James in all of this? Here is Reece James, the right back, just as a reminder. Reece! Not good. Not good. I was going to make some tactical changes. Another highlights began. I'm going to remain patient. There's still time to turn this around here. Chilwell to Colwill. Colwill back wide with Chilwell. Ball played forward. Mudryk. Can he get there? He's going to use all his pace. Keeps it alive. Loops in. It goes over everyone. And Enzo Fernandez heads it over. And it was an open goal. I can't believe he's missed that. It's a goal kick. It's the resulting goal kick. I mean, we probably should have scored. That was an open goal, wasn't it, for all intents and purposes? It was not a good bit of play. That said, with Tottenham looking to play the ball out from the back, we are going to try and press them here and force an error. Joe Gomez picks up the ball, loose in the middle, gives it wide to Madueke. He's going to cut inside. That is not a good ball at the end of it. Tottenham deal with it, but still, we're getting the ball into dangerous areas. We do need to be wary of the counter-attack, though. We are playing quite an attacking system, a system where we're very forward. If teams do break our initial press, we could find ourselves in issues. That said, when we do move the ball around well, it looks really pretty. We're doing a bit of that moving of the ball right now. Mudryk, great touch out of his feet, knocks it round his man. One player to aim for in the middle. That one man is Giroud. Caicedo shoots. Oh my word. Their long shots have paid off. I'm not sure why we're shooting so much. Caicedo, goal on his debut. And I'm going to say now, best goal of the FM beta so far in the entire world. I mean, when he pulled the trigger, I was ready to be annoyed, but it just dipped in. It's just dipped in from like 30 yards out. I can't believe that. If you were wondering it, because I was wondering it too, 12 long shots. 12. I'm fine with that. I mean, Tottenham have had one shot on target. It'd be very, very fluky of them to win this game, I feel like. I feel like we deserve it on the balance of play. I'm going to make a few late changes here. Mason Mount on you come. Kai Havertz on you come. This is in the script for these two players to link up. Discarded in real life. Thrown to the side. Can they score the goal that gives us the win away against Tottenham? There are 7 minutes of added time. We're going to do one of our short corner routines. Madueke loops it in. Joe Gomez was lurking. It's headed away. 7 minutes of added time, by the way. There's still lots of football to be played. We've got the ball. Benny Chilwell, the left back, gets forward, tries to put it in. Not a great ball. He might get a second bite of the cherry, though. Madueke's at the back post. Keeper collects it. Lloris plucks that ball out of the air. And yet we are set to attack here. As the away team, you could expect us to drop back here and give up. That's not how work the space ball works. We get the ball forward, we attack, we try and overwhelm. And we're going to try and do that here. Madueke dinks it in. Kai Havertz is under it. It's headed away, but only as far as Ben Chilwell. He takes it down. Caicedo, he has one goal. He has another goal. He's the long shot hero. It's 2-1. I feel like if the previous shot was kind of a 10 out of 10, this is like a 6. It wasn't quite as flashy, but Ben Chilwell assist. A little bit of traffic in front of Lloris there, offsides him. The ball nestles in the bottom corner. I probably should go off attacking now, shouldn't I? We've got 5 minutes to see out. Let's be sensible. Mudryk, you can come back. James, just full back on defend. At this point, I'm happy to be boring. First half, I didn't want to be this. Now I'm quite happy to be this. 3 minutes left of this game. A win here away against Tottenham would be a mega way to start, and it is how we're going to start. I want to pretend it was some kind of incredible team display. No, Moise Caicedo has bailed us out on his debut. Thank you, mate. Not really the player I've brought in to score 2 goals, but if it works, it works. I joked about Mudryk. He has actually got a 7.4 having come on in that game. Had a really good game. Didn't misplace a single pass. As for Tottenham, I mean, you can see from the match stats here, they were second best. As the home team, they should feel disgusted with themselves. Awful football by Tottenham. I'm going to put outstretched arms and really well done. Really come in for a team hug, everyone. It's a team hug atmosphere. With that result there, we move into 5th. It's after 1 game. Let's not get carried away. And Caicedo, I've already bigged him up twice this episode. We're going to big him up some more. Give that man some praise. Not exactly how I wanted our first game to go, but we will take it. Now, like I already mentioned, we got this 80 million from Kante that debatably we should have never got. And from a moral point of view, taking Saudi money for a player who should have left on a free in June doesn't feel right. I feel like we need to redistribute that wealth. I asked you guys in the prologue transfer episode for who I should give that money to. I saw a really good suggestion. The team that we're going to bless that £80 million with is Luton. Now, Luton, let's be honest, they are the surprise package to make it to the Premier League in real life. Predicted to finish rock bottom in game. They've got a bank balance of negative 4 million. I'm about to give them 80 million to try and stay up. I kind of want to sign someone that they're not going to use. So Jack Walton, age 25, will buy you, mate. The board are trying to block this transfer. They should reconsider blocking it. They think the fee's too much. Right, we'll go find someone else at Luton. I made a bid for Mpanzu. I've been told that I can't go over 18 million. Let's try and convince the board of this. I feel like we might have hit a snag. What if I sign a player, but instead of me giving it all up front, I just give them a load of it in 6 months? Maybe this will work. Narrator. It did not work. I think I've come up with a genius workaround. I will loan a player or two from Luton for a combined total fee of 80 million. Zach Nelson is going to join us on a £50 million loan. And if I just give Axel here £3 million a month in a monthly fee for the loan till the end of the year, my conscience is clean about taking the Kante money. I realised that if you didn't watch the prologue transfer special episode, which at this point, I mean, if you're at the end of this video, go watch that one for further context of all of this. You might be confused as to what's going on. Just understand this is how I play Football Manager on occasion. I'm weird. Axel is joining us, 30 million deducted from the budget. So I knew we'd find a workaround. I think he's a great player. Potential championship quality? Bargain. Bargain. And Zach, £50 million Zach. The loan's been cancelled. I've hit my limit for loans from Luton. I'm just as I thought I'd figured it all out. Right, well, we have £50 million, so if you want to leave a plea for a different team to get money next episode, leave it down below. I don't know. Maybe I'll just give it to them next year. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. Like I said, if this video hits 5,000 likes, episode number 2 coming up later today. We will do a double header. Which 2 games we'll do? You'll have to come back next time to find out. If you are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to find out what is going to happen with this Chelsea team here. Magical things, I assure you. Take it easy. Episode number 2 coming very, very soon. It is me, Jack. I'll talk to you all in a bit. I'm out.